The inspiration for N.e.r.d. is, it was us just wanting to be like a Tribe Called Quest back in the days.
The way we formed N.e.r.d. was that we actually started out as a band.
Me and Chad would go over his house and, you know, bang around on the equipment.
I had some keyboards and some turntables and stuff.
Just try and make beats every day, and that's what we sort of did, like, you know, 2 or 3 times a week.
We would put together beats, and just Pharrell would have ideas of beats, and he would get on the drum machine too and the keyboards, and he would actually come up with hooks. So that's when he started becoming the writer, the songwriter.
And then we got discovered in a high school talent show, and our boy Shay was down with us, so we kept him in the group. And we don't know what Shay does, and Shay doesn't know what he does, but Shay's like, you know, he's an integral part in the group.
The way we came about the N.e.r.d. name was that we just wanted something that stand out. You know, even when you think of the word Neptunes, that doesn't sound like DJ Chatty Chad and MC Relly Rel. It's like we didn't want to limit ourselves to just one genre of music. We wanted to just do some broad spectrum musical-wise. So we chose Neptunes because, you know, you think of like King Neptune from the sea, and you think of planet Neptunes. It's like a big broad area you could deal with. So we ran with Neptunes. And as far as N.e.r.d., we wanted a name that just kind of set us apart from everyone else. We didn't want to be known as nerds, but we just wanted something. We wanted to change that connotation. You know, we were always known as like the different thinkers growing up. People always thought of us as like quirky thinkers, of people who thought out of the box, and that's why we adopted the word nerd. You know, Einstein was a nerd. You know, Da Vinci was a nerd. So it's like, man, let's just take that and switch it around and do something different. You know, except let's not call ourselves nerd. Let's make it N.e.r.d. No one ever really dies.
The way me and Chad work is that, you know, we collaborate in the studio. Like, I'll come up with a beat, he'll come up with a chord, or I'll come up with a chord and he'll play a bass line, or it just works many different ways. I mean, it's just like, it's like 2 sculptors on one sculpture.
Like, he may be thinking one way, I may be thinking one way, but then we put it together, and that's how we come up with diverse stuff.
With N.e.r.d., I can't tell you where it is we're going to end up, inevitably, because we don't know.
We take different types of feels, not necessarily from a rock perspective or from a you know, a punk perspective. I guess the attitude has like hip hop and punk mixed together.
I just know that inspired by my life and my experiences with girls and the shit that hurt and the shit that felt great.
People will call it what they call it, you know, I don't really care what it is. It's just something that we put together. We're not trying to be alternative rockers, we're not trying to be alternative hip hoppers. It's just what we feel and we throw it in there. And that's what it's all about. It's about freedom. You know what I mean? And I'm
influenced by like all the greats and the gallant and brave steps that they took and the attempts that they made, whether they were successful or unsuccessful. I still consider it all a success because the music reached our ears and it's touched us and it's influenced the way we think as far as pushing the envelope and just being creative.
But we don't limit ourselves to what we listen to. I'm not saying that we're like walking musical encyclopedias, but to be a good artist is to expose yourself to different arts and different types of things. So I'm influenced by a lot of people. Like growing up, I admit, you know, I was a Michael Jackson fan, and I moonwalked across my rug, and you know, probably got rugrats rash at the bottom of my feet doing so.
What do I think about downloading? I think that like, I think you're gonna do what you want to do.
Yeah, you can't really stop it, man. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna do, you know, if you get a sneak peek of a movie, you'll see it.
And I think the most responsible thing that you can do is when you download music, probably just testing it out and leave it at that. And just support your artists, because if you really love them and care about them, you gotta know that in a sense you're stealing. But I'm telling you, it's stupid for me to tell you not to do it. You're gonna do it anyway. But I'm just saying, be responsible and, you know, look out for your fellow musician.